I'm Forrest Saunders, standing in front of the state capitol here in Tallahassee, and right now the Sunshine State's economy is looking pretty sunny. But there are some dark clouds on the horizon, and lawmakers are trying to figure out what to do about them.
Florida already knows it's got some economic issues in the years ahead.
Welcome to the Legislative Budget Commission. It will now come to order.
While budget chairs said last week high reserves, steady tax collections, and careful budgeting mean the books are strong in the short term, the outlook darkens over time. Their report shows by fiscal year 28-29, Florida could face a $6.6 billion deficit unless lawmakers adjust spending or revenues. The reason? Medicaid, K-12 enrollment growth, and employee health costs. Plus, reoccurring disaster funding obligations.
We have a AAA bond rating, we have a balanced budget, we have record reserves. That's in great part to discipline in how we spend, and so I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Incoming House Speaker Sam Garrison notes Medicaid nabs about 40% of the state's budget, and while expansion would help Florida secure more federal dollars to pay for it,
is Medicaid's expansion something that you would be interested in during your time as Speaker?
No.
And why is that?
I think we're seeing the wisdom of the decision that was made. We talked a lot about the history of the House. These Medicaid issues have been worked through the State House for a number of years. Speaker Perez has been very solid on this, very firm in his commitment on this. We're going to be fiscally responsible. That's our number one responsibility.
On the Senate side, President-designate Jim Boyd says he's focused on oversight and efficiency, looking for waste before adding new spending, not ruling out a doging of the state government.
But we always have to pay attention to our expenditures, and coming up with a budget forecast that we're facing for the next several years, I think it's even more incumbent upon us.
As far as Floridians' affordability issues, he didn't foresee more major reform on property insurance, saying past reforms to tamp down lawsuits seem to be working, despite ongoing complaints of high premiums.
I personally believe the market is responding. We've got 15, 16, 17 new carriers have come back to Florida. Rates are going down. Not everybody's have yet, but rates are trending down.
The chambers are also weighing property tax reform for a potential 2026 ballot. Both leaders said any plan has to protect fiscally constrained counties. How, though, is unclear. In Florida's number 2 industry, agriculture, lawmakers face rising costs and workforce strains. Senate Ag Chair Keith Trunow points to last session's farm worker housing changes as a big win, but warns about trade competition and labor.
We have to figure out how to keep agriculture sustainable in the state of Florida. But we have to compete with foreign countries and other entities to be viable. Sure. And it's a concern. Yeah. I mean, we're only about 7 days away from having a food crisis in the state of Florida. If you cut off all those sources, you'd be hungry in about 7 days.
He's helping craft another big ag bill for next session, which starts in January. And it'll come as state officials also warned this week that the broader workforce pipeline is aging in Florida. More than half of manufacturing employees are 45 plus, meaning the state may also need to find ways to encourage youth to keep jobs filled and factories working.
Now, we still have a lot of time before we get to the regular session, which starts January 13th of next year. But once we do, the budget will be the biggest bill that lawmakers have to pass before they can head home. And you might remember the 2025 legislative session, they could not come to consensus for weeks, borderline months, before we finally got a deal in place. Will it happen again this next session? We'll have to wait and see. That's the latest out here at the state capitol. I'm Forrest Saunders reporting.